Good day, mates. Boy, am I at a special place. And before I tell you where I'm at, I'll tell you that one of my fondest memories growing up back in Euclid, Ohio, was having my dad always tell me to read out loud like Abe Lincoln. Now, I don't know where he learned that Abe Lincoln read out loud, but I've always been fond of Abe Lincoln, and as many Americans are. And I found my way to the Lincoln cabin, and I thought I would bring you along. I'll turn the camera around. I'm actually riding on my unicycle, interestingly enough, and I thought I'd take you down this path right here, down to the visitor center and the Lincoln cabin and the farm. Now, it's not Abe Lincoln's cabin, but it was his father's. And Abe used to come here quite a bit to visit his father, and I believe maybe his stepmother. So I just thought it would be a nice way to start the video by bringing you down the pathway. And it's springtime right now, so there's a lot of trees that are blooming. As you can see, I think those might be cherry trees right there. And I don't think it was Abe that chopped down the cherry tree. That was George, not Abe. But look at this. Very nice. I've always wanted to come to see Abe Lincoln's cabin. And this time I thought, why not get off the highway? And I was on the interstate when I saw the sign, and I pulled over, and it was all of, well, 15 minutes. It was just a 15-minute detour. And there you can see my, there you see my camper. Maybe I can get a sticker for the rear of my camper from the Lincoln cabin, but we will see. It's very, very convenient having this unicycle because I can just really get around a lot quicker and more efficiently. So we're gonna go right on up to the visitor center and say hello. And they're open, fortunately. I don't think I have to worry too much about locking my unicycle. There's not a lot of people on average that can get on one of these and ride it, so I don't think that I have to worry too much about somebody taking it. But here would be the visitor center, and it's a big building. Over here it says looking for Lincoln. Lincoln's care for his family. Wow. Oh, if my dad weren't here with me in spirit, but in person. Abraham Lincoln was a frequent visitor to Coles County in the 1840s, traveling on the judicial circuit. In Charleston, according to Amanda Hanks Poorman, the daughter of Dennis Hanks, Lincoln would use the Hanks horse and wagon, and with some of the Hanks children, visit his father's farm. Amanda recalled, "He was very generous with us, and was also to his father and stepmother, giving them $10 or $15 every time we went down there with him." In the book, Abraham Lincoln in Coles County, Charles Coleman imagined a scene with Lincoln on a visit home, showering his stepmother with flour, sugar, coffee beans, and a bolt of cloth, and even a warm comforter. "Land sakes, Abe," she would say with pretended dismay, "why did you bring me so much folderols? Does that high-toned lady in Springfield know how you throw your money away on your old mother?" "Don't you fret, Mama," he would reply. The comforter was Mary's idea. Dennis Hanks' son-in-law, Augustus Chapman, also reported that in 1858 he gave Sarah Lincoln $50. Wow, really something else. Look at, they've got some good information here. Lincoln's care and concern for his family's welfare is shown by one particular gift, the purchase of 40 acres of his father's farm. In 1841, Abe purchased 40 acres from his parents for $200, then deeded the property back to them for their exclusive use during their lifetimes. Fantastic. All right, so let's go on inside and check this historic place out. Boy, it really is something special for me to be here. So we'll go inside and take a look at what we may see. Look at this. Wow. So this is the visitor center. Wow, wonderful.
Are you holding a gun?
Huh?
Is that a gun?
A gun? No, I don't got a gun. I got a camera. I'm a big YouTube star. I travel around and I share interesting stuff on YouTube.
Well, you have come to a very interesting place.
And you look pretty interesting yourself. Look at that. What is this? This is the wagon.
Yes, they have loaded up all of their belongings and they're getting ready to travel west.
Wow.
So this is their moving van.
This is the moving van, huh?
They would hook horses or more likely oxen up to it.
Now back in the day, they didn't like U-Haul. They didn't have U-Haul wagons.
This is U-Haul.
This is U-Haul?
This is their U-Haul.
Oh, this is literally U-Haul, right?
Correct.
And your name is?
I'm Ramona.
You're Ramona. You're the lovely lady I talked to on the phone. What a wonderful place to work every day.
Absolutely.
You know, what a wonderful place to work. Now this wasn't Abe Lincoln's wagon, was it?
This would have been his father's wagon. So they would have had something like this when they moved from Kentucky, Lincoln's boyhood home, to Indiana, where he grew up. And then when they moved from Indiana into Illinois, this would have been their method of travel.
Fantastic.
And then Lincoln would have gone on to Springfield, where he was a lawyer. And his parents stayed down here. His father and stepmother stayed down here.
You know what my father used to say? I grew up in a family of 10. You're not camera shy, are you?
No, that's fine.
So I grew up in a family of 10, and we weren't allowed to watch TV on school nights. So us kids, we used to do a lot of reading. And my dad would always say to us, Tommy, read out loud like Abe Lincoln did. Did he used to read out loud?
That's the story that we hear.
That's the story
that he would lay in front of the fireplace for light and that he would read out loud.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Ramona, after I see what this lovely lady is doing, could you show me a little bit of the
I would be happy to.
the visitor center?
Let's see.
Let's see what this lovely lady is doing here. What are you making over here? A quilt?
A quilt.
Look at that.
We hand piece and hand quilt a quilt every year and then raffle it off.
You do? And are you selling raffle tickets now?
Yes, we are.
Right there.
Oh, quilt raffle, September 20th. That's my birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
September
early.
26th is my birthday. Now, can we put the fix in?
Yeah, I'll wrap it up and give it to you.
Yeah, let's put the fix in somehow, okay? So 1 ticket for $5, six tickets for $5. Can people buy tickets online?
I don't know if we have that set up yet. We were working on it.
Wow, look at this quilt.
So this is a log cabin pattern.
She's the one that put it together.
Now, do different people work on this quilt, or is it just yourself?
I don't let anyone else touch it.
This is just your work, huh, Emma?
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh, I knew. Oh, yeah. Now, why'd you think I had a gun coming in here? Is it this big hat?
Yeah.
The big hat with
well,
the...
look, this is my daughter, Sue,
Let me
my
see.
son-in-law, and my granddaughter, Emmy.
Really?
They live in Las Vegas.
No kidding.
And they keep telling me, don't quit, keep moving.
Keep doing it, huh?
Yeah.
How old are you, if I may ask?
89.
My mother is 89, bless your heart.
Yeah,
Wow. My mother's 89 years
in
old.
February.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, thank you very much. So Ramona's going to show me around, right, Ramona?
Sure.
So this is a national
historic site.
A National Historic Site.
And it is Abraham Lincoln's parents' last homestead. So his father and stepmother lived here until they both died. And then they are both buried about a mile from here in Shiloh Cemetery.
His parents
Correct.
are both buried.
Correct.
And this would be a photograph of a...
This is an old photograph of a westward migration, just to show you the actual carts that were loaded, the oxen that would pull them as people traveled west into the frontier.
Did he have a lot of Indians out here?
It was all Indians.
It was all Indians.
So,
friendly Indians? Or?
Well, Abraham Lincoln's father's father was actually killed by an Indian in Kentucky.
Oh, his grandfather.
Correct.
His grandfather was killed by an Indian. Look at this.
So this shows our planting. So we'll have cornfields. We'll have wheat that will shock in the fall. So if you were lucky, you had a horse and a plow to do your planting. Otherwise, you did it by hand with a hoe. And you would drop 3 corn seeds, you would drop bean seeds, and you would drop squash. So that's called the 3 sisters.
Okay.
And those plants all grew well together. So the corn would become the beanstalk, the trellis for the beanstalk, and then it would shade the squash.
Wow.
And the fact that you had squash on the ground meant that you had less weeds that you had to deal with.
Wonderful. Boy, you really know your stuff, Ramona.
Well, thank you.
You know, no wonder why they have you working out here. Look at this.
So this would be...
Would this
the
one of these
wheat.
be his father? Or
These would be neighbors that were coming in to help with the wheat harvest.
I see. Just talking over the farm. Now, what's he got in that jug there? Moonshine?
Yes.
Might be some moonshine, huh?
Those were called ugly jugs.
Ugly jugs.
Because he had ugly faces on him to keep the kids out of them. And
Okay.
the ladies would use it for medicinal purposes.
And look, everybody did some work out on the... Everybody did some work.
Where you think that there was women's work and fellers' work, when it became time to harvest, everybody was out in the field because you wanted to get that grain in before it was damaged by weather.
Wow. And over here you have Abe.
Correct.
There's Abe. He was a good man, wasn't he?
He was a good man.
They don't make them like Abe Lincoln anymore,
That is
do
correct. They do not.
There's the Thomas Lincoln blanket chest.
So that would have been carried with them. So if it was summertime, you would store your blankets there. Wintertime, you would be put on the beds.
And what is a shave horse? Used as a vise for clamping shingles, tool handles, and other items for shaving them down with a draw knife.
So if you're with whittling, you would hold the wood in your hand and whittle. But as you got the bigger pieces, this would become your hand to hold the piece of wood to make your cedar shingles, to make the handles that are on the saws, to make the handles for your axe.
Wow.
To repair your door frames, your sills. This would be your, compared to a modern day vise.
So if I may ask you, there's a saying that I like, and that saying being, we are from which we come. And Abraham Lincoln being the great man that he was. Tell me a little bit about his dad. He must have been a great man.
Dad started out in Kentucky. He was a carpenter. Had some problems with land titles because of the early ways that land was claimed. So he moved to Indiana, got a better claim on the land.
Okay.
He was a subsistence farmer, so he would grow enough corn, wheat to tide himself over from winter to winter, and maybe have a little bit extra that he could trade at the general store, but was very independent and was proud to be that way, didn't want to be in debt to anybody.
Oh, wonderful. Now look at that woman there. She's got a pipe in her mouth.
Yes, she does.
Look at that. Ramona, you've never had a pipe in your mouth, have you?
I have not.
Okay. Well, look at that.
I might have to mend my ways, huh?
Look at that scene. Oh boy, the good old days, right?
Mm-hmm.
The good old days. Over here you have a flax break.
Uh-huh. So flax would have been a plant that we would have grown and taken the stem,
Mm-hmm.
and you rot it in water so that hard wood comes off, and then this is the fiber that is found in it. And that's a flax break, so we break those fibers up
Uh-huh.
so that we can then card it. You're probably used to seeing wool carded,
Yes.
but we would actually card those fibers and get them all straightened out and soft, and then we would spin them into linen cloth.
Now you keep using the word we. You weren't around back then. You're too young.
Well, I know, but
Okay.
I've done this.
All right.
So,
and
they.
and they had a corn husking bee?
Yes.
Look at
So
that.
after the corn came in, all of the neighbors would come together and you would husk corn
Uh-huh.
so that it could be dried and stored for the winter, so it could be ground into cornmeal. And some of the seed would be saved over, so you would have seed to plant the next spring.
Very nice. And they had a quilting bee, of course.
Yes, that was the time for the ladies to get together and share all the news of the area. And quilting goes much faster when you have many hands doing it.
I would imagine. Now look at this scene. This would be like the general store?
This is the Bird Monroe store that would have been in Charleston, Illinois, 8 miles up the road. So if the Lincolns would have needed something that they could not produce on the farm, they would have gone to the store. So they would go for the material, dishes, cones of sugar.
Wow. This really is a nice, nice exhibit. Look
Thank
at
you.
this place. This really is nice. How long have you been here, Ramona?
I've been volunteering here since about 2000.
You're a volunteer.
Correct.
Well, bless your heart. And look at this. But woman's work is never done. Look at this scene
So we
here.
have the little girl churning butter.
Uh-huh. There's the little girl.
How do? My name be Elizabeth.
Whoops.
I'm a-watching my little sister Amanda while my ma'am and Aunt Tildy are out working in the garden. I'm also a churning butter. We milk the cow morning and night, and the milk has to set a while for the cream to rise to the top. I get to skim the cream off and put it in the churn. Takes a lot of churning to get butter. Then we have to wash the butter and ma'am stamps it with her butter stamp. We usually drink the milk warm and sometimes when it's curdled, or we can take the curds out and make cottage cheese or hard cheese. Takes an awful lot of work to keep a big family fed every day.
Wow. Just wonderful. Really, really nice.
So this lady is plying wool.
She's plying wool?
So this would be our spinning wheel. So you would take the wool or the flax and spin it into a single strand of yarn. And then when you had lots of single strand yarn, you would ply it together so you could have 2 or 3 or 4 ply, so there was more strength to it. We can dye it with natural dyes to get the various colors.
Wow. Fantastic. Very nice. The world of the 1845 child. Boy, this is a very, very thorough exhibit.
Thank you.
Look at the little dress right here. And the shoes. Look at the shoes.
And this would have been a boy's dress. So boys, until they would
A
have been
boy's
2
dress?
years old, would have been in dresses or frocks
Really?
before we put them into breeches.
Oh, look at that. And what is this here? What is this? Dried snacks.
Those are dried apples and dried pumpkin.
Very nice. Little toy here.
That's a corn husk doll.
Wow. You know, the nice thing, I travel the world and I do videos. And I share special places like this with people around the world. There are so many people.
We're so glad you shared Lincoln Log Cabin.
Thank you. You're welcome. There are so many people that'll never have the opportunity to come here. And this will give them some really, really wonderful insight into Abe Lincoln and the life, life back then.
So what you're looking at now is a barn loom.
A barn loom?
A loom. So the flax, once it is woven, you would wind lots of yardage on this, put it through the dent, and then that would be your warp for material, and then we would throw a shuttle back and forth to make linen cloth.
Wow.
Or you could make wool jean, which is similar to denim today.
You should, there's this gem, have you ever been to Florida?
Uh-huh.
There's a place in Florida called the Villages. If you might
I know
have heard of
that.
it. Yeah.
I've heard that.
There's a very famous man there. His name is Skip Smith. Would you give a personal invite to Skip Smith? He's going to be traveling across the country with his wife, Sue. Would you personally invite Skip Smith to come and visit you here?
Skip and Sue, please come visit us at Lincoln Log Cabin State Historic Site in Lerna, Illinois. We'd be glad to show you around.
There you go.
Introduce you to Abraham Lincoln's parents.
Wow. Thank you.
You are so welcome.
Okay, so now I'm going to be going outside and seeing the actual the cabin. Correct? Where the cabin,
Correct.
This is the visitor center.
Correct.
So in addition to the visitor center, what am I able to see here?
Well, I can walk with you and show you.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Let's go and check that out. Okay, so now we found our way outside, and where are we going?
We're going to the Lincoln cabin where Abraham Lincoln's father and stepmother lived.
Uh-huh.
This is the actual site of the cabin, but the cabin had to be reconstructed in the 1930s by the Civilian Conservation Corps, because the original cabin in the 1890s was shipped off to the World's Fair in Chicago and never found its way back.
I see. Did you ever have Lincoln logs when you were a little girl?
I did. Weren't they fun?
Weren't they fun?
Yeah.
The Lincoln logs, how you'd fit them together and all that kind of stuff. And then Legos came along and ruined everything.
And connects.
And connects. So look at this. You got to see this view. Look at this. Wow.
Snake rail fence to keep in our sheep.
Look at this. So this is the farm.
This is the farm.
Fantastic. And this would be a typical fence?
Correct. All of the fencing is correct for the period.
Now why, not that you would know the answer, I'd be very impressed if you did. Why the zigzag on the fence?
Because we could make the fence without using nails. And it's interlocked so the animals can't push it down.
Wow.
So this is another style of fence.
Look at these. Now these have horns, so I'm assuming these are rams.
The females have horns too.
They do.
It's the type of sheep.
Uh-huh. Look at these. They're not going to charge me or anything, are they?
They shouldn't.
Look at this.
Friendly.
Wow.
So we should be having lambs soon, but I haven't seen any yet.
Look at that. Oh my goodness. So you'll be having some lambs. Now they need to be sheared.
Yes, we'll usually do that the end of April, early May. You want to make sure that the winter is gone, and since we just had snow yesterday,
yes,
they were happy to have their wool.
Really? Look at that. Fantastic. Now I sheared a sheep in New Zealand.
Very good.
Oh yeah.
Did you do it by hand with hand clippers?
I did. I did.
And did you get the wool off in one piece?
No, I didn't get the wool.
Yeah,
well,
I can't either.
I can't remember. Look at how beautiful this is.
So
I would imagine
that chicken house.
I would imagine throughout the year you get a lot of visitors.
We do. We have visitors from all of the 50 states, and then between 30 and 50 or 75 countries, depending upon the year.
Uh-huh. Wow. And this is the chicken farm.
This is the chicken house.
Now, do you as a volunteer, do you get like free fresh eggs?
When I'm out here cooking.
When you're out here cooking. Look at this. Wow.
So these chickens would have been correct for the period, for the 1840s.
May I step inside?
Sure.
I'll be
you
careful.
You might want to watch the rooster. Sometimes he's a little territorial.
Oh, I would imagine so. I found that out.
Yeah, he's flapping.
Uh-oh. Look at this. If I had all of these chickens, I'd be flapping too. Look at that.
He's protecting his hens and his eggs, his young'uns.
Oh, I would do the same. Isn't that something? Now, just one rooster?
Yes.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Otherwise they fight.
Otherwise they fight. And there is your... Look at these. All right. I don't want to get them. I don't want to get them too upset.
We have eggs in there for you to gather.
You do?
I don't know. Do we?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to get in trouble here. Let's see. Is he going to get mad at me?
Well, he's.
Yeah, there's some eggs in there.
Well, good. You can gather eggs.
I can gather eggs. Really?
Then I don't have to.
Okay. So I am.
Like me passing off my work.
I'm gathering eggs here. Look at that. Oh my goodness. There's a few of them. I don't want to drop any. I don't. Look at that. Here you go.
Yeah, we had 4 this morning.
Well, no, you got more. I'm not done yet.
All right.
I'm not done yet. Look at this.
I wish I had my apron on.
Wow, fresh eggs. Here's your chickens. Look at that. And this one up here, it's got its Sunday bonnet on. All right. I got to get out of here. Wonderful. Just wonderful.
Oh, that one's warm.
Okay. Let me out. Thank you.
You are
Oh,
welcome.
don't let this... Oh, I learned my lesson over in... Boy, I learned my lesson over in Poland, not to let the hens out. Look at this. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Here, you put those in my hat.
Oh, all right.
Just don't...
Yeah, usually I have my apron on and they go well.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
You hold my... There you go.
I can do that. Make me responsible for dropping the eggs.
What a special place. I'm so glad I made that.
To the left is our smokehouse.
To the left is the smokehouse?
So normally during the winter you would butcher a pig and hang it and smoke the hams, smoke and cure the hams.
And this?
This is the Lincoln cabin.
This is the Lincoln cabin.
So,
What would they use in between the logs there?
that's chinking. So it's horsehair and what else is in it? But it acts like cement.
I would imagine that you get a good fire going inside there and it would be pretty warm.
It is warm in there, especially once you get the walls warmed up. It's very comfortable.
Are you open all year?
We have interpreters on the farm May through October, but the park is open so you can come walk the grounds.
I see.
And then May through October we'll have,
This would have been the well.
correct,
May through October you have...
people on site in period clothes that would be here doing hearth cooking. We would be spinning, we would be dipping candles, we'd do laundry.
Is this open?
It's not, but I can go back in and get the key.
You could. Oh, that would be wonderful. And this building right here, this is the doghouse?
This is a root cellar.
The root cellar.
So when you go around in the fall, we would take our cabbages and carrots and apples and our root vegetables, our pumpkins, pack them in straw or sand to help keep them longer.
And is this original? Or is this all reconstructed?
The site is original, but we've had to do reconstruction just to keep it intact.
Fantastic. All right, so you'll grab the key.
I will do that. I'm going to take your hat and I'll put these
You'll
away.
take the hat, and then you're going to have those. You're going to have those eggs for brekkie.
We can have them.
Oh, fantastic!
Absolutely.
So you know brekkie. Brekkie is Australian for breakfast.
I know.
I usually have a
We
big.
would come out
I
here
usually
to
have
the
a
smokehouse and take off some bacon. Some ham.
I'll usually have a. I will usually have a bicky for brekkie.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, a biscuit.
Okay.
A biscuit. I'd have a biscuit for brekkie, you know.
We would make biscuits in our spider.
You would, huh?
Over the open fire.
Let me, if you'd be so kind, for all my mates down in Australia, let me hear you do a good day, mate.
Good day, mate.
There you go. Oh, that just came off your tongue naturally.
But now, if you's really wanting to hear the proper speech, sir.
Yes. The proper?
The proper speech.
Oh, what would be the proper speech?
It would be how do.
How do?
How do.
That's what they'd say here?
Correct. Because we
How do.
speak Southern Upland dialect.
I see. Are you from Illinois?
Transplanted.
Okay. I'm from Cleveland originally.
So I'm originally from Kansas, the state of Kansas.
Okay. You're not a farmer's daughter, are you?
Yes, I am.
You are. You know what they say about farmers' daughters? Oh, you're smiling. Oh my goodness. You do know what they say about farmers' daughters.
And what do they say about farmers'
Oh, I don't know.
daughters?
I was asking you. I was asking
not
you what they
saying.
say about farmers' daughters.
saying.
You're gonna be a star on YouTube. You know that? You're gonna be a big star. People are gonna be watching you on their 75-inch square screen 4K LED TVs. Oh, you're gonna be a star. All right, let's
Not
go
any
and get
bigger
the
than
key.
you are.
Let's go. Let's go get the key. So we made our way back to the cabin, and Ramona was telling me that's the lock.
That's the lock.
That's the lock. Let's step inside and check this out.
And I'll show you why. You stay there for a second.
Okay. All right. So, oh, look at that.
So now I'm locked in and you're locked out.
Ah, okay. That's how they kept the Indians away. Yeah. Okay. Now look at, so this is the reconstruction.
Yes, it was done by the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 30s on the original site of Thomas Lincoln's cabin.
Boy,
So
it was on this site.
It was on this site.
This
so
very
it's the
ground.
correct dimensions,
Wow.
located the same, east, west, north, south.
Now look at this. Look at this ugly jug here. That's what they would use to keep, what would they keep in here? Medicinals?
It would be their corn whiskey, their corn liquor.
Ah.
So the ladies would make cough syrups for medicinal purposes, and the fellers just used it.
Isn't that something? Look at that. Fantastic. And here's the fireplace.
So we would use that to keep warm in the winter, and then we would also use it to do our cooking. So you'd have a pot of water boiling. You could have the coffee pot on.
Wow.
We would have our cast iron skillets or our spiders that we would fry or bake in.
Okay. And here's your table.
Our table.
They'd sit and break bread at the table. Now I see stairs going up. What's
That's a sleeping loft upstairs.
No kidding.
So you would send the kids up and there would be corn husk tick mattresses. So you can go on up. Just
I can. I don't want to. Let's see here if I can even get a view. It's pretty dark up here. Can you turn on the light?
Sure.
Oh.
That's it. There's your light.
Oh, that's the light. Okay. All right, folks. So that's where the kids would.
Depending on how good the shingles are, depends on how good your light is.
Wow. And they had windows.
Yes.
Okay, so they had windows and.
Windows with isinglass.
What is this here?
That is a reflector oven.
A reflector
So
oven.
we would put a whole chicken or a turkey or a goose or a duck in that. It would be spitted. And then it would come over here in front of the fire. And then you'd have a young'un on the spit. And every 15 minutes they would turn it a crank for 3 or 4 hours.
Wow.
And then you would have turkey for Thanksgiving dinner.
Fantastic. Now, you said 2 cabins? This was 2 cabins?
Yes.
Considered 2
There was an
cabins?
original cabin constructed, and then there was a cabin down the road that was abandoned.
Uh-huh.
And they moved it here, put it back together so that they would have twice the living space.
I'll be darned. Is that tobacco?
Yes.
Look at that. Boy, this is just wonderful. Really, really nice. There's your spinning.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just, well, okay, so that's a single bed, and then underneath you would
Is
have
it
the
trundle?
a trundle.
Mm-hmm. So we would have a ticking mattress that we would fill with corn husks and then cover it with our sheets and our quilts.
Not that you would know the answer to this, Ramona, but were the Lincolns, were they a religious family? Were they?
Yes.
They were.
Yeah.
What denomination or?
It was the preacher who would travel through the area. So the stories I read is that Tommy Lincoln was not well educated, but he knew enough to sign his name and read his Bible.
Okay.
That is a quilt that's put up on a quilt frame. So at night when the young'uns were in bed, that would be unrolled and you would work on quilting your next blanket for the
Wonderful.
winter.
Wow. You know what, Ramona?
So
you're
you
just
can
as
see
much.
there's
You're
candles
just the candles.
around,
Uh-huh.
our Lucifer box for our matches.
Wow. Ramona, I can't
our
thank you enough.
spices.
I can't thank you enough for your time. You know, you're as much a treasure as this place is.
Well, thank you.
You know, thank you. You really, really, really made this
Yeah, glad to
all
share.
the worthwhile for me to come
And
out.
it looks like we left a few of our peppers, our dried peppers up from last winter.
Now that would be paprika. We'd call that paprika over in Magyarország,
Yeah.
which would be Hungary.
Yeah, those are cayennes.
All right, so I've got I got my tickets for the quilt. My birthday is the 26th.
And that's when we'll draw.
I want the fix to be in, okay? You
We'll see what we can do.
You just tear the corner off one of the tickets I bought, and when you're reaching down in there, you feel.
Except I don't draw.
Oh, you don't draw.
I don't do the
okay,
drawing.
that could be a problem.
I know.
Okay.
A big problem.
Well, maybe.
But somebody will win the quilt on September 26th.
Well, I hope it's me.
I
All right.
hope so too.
Have a great day. Thank you so much.
Good day to you as well.
Okay, Ramona was holding out on me. I had to twist her arm. You see? I asked as we were walking out. As we were walking out, I said, "What is this?" And she said, "Well, this would be the garden." And they would make it such to keep the animals out of the garden. Look at that. And they covered up I think she was saying they had strawberries or
Strawberries and asparagus.
there's strawberries and asparagus in there.
And then the other is onions.
And there's your onions. Oh, how wonderful. Really nice. Now, the other thing that I really wanted to see was the pigs. You have pigs.
We do have pigs.
How could I leave and not see the pigs?
Well, I don't know. How
I
could
mean,
you?
in all
So let's
honesty,
go for a walk.
right? I mean, in all honesty, how could I even think of leaving without seeing the pigs? Wow. Here's another view. This is the...
This would be the front of
This
the
would be the
cabin.
front of the cabin.
We took you in the back door because
Right there.
Because isn't that right? Backdoor friends are the best.
Backdoor friends are the best. Is that I've never heard of that expression before. Backdoor friends are the best. All right, so we found our way to the pigsty. I don't know if that's what they that's what they call it, but my mother used to say, "Clean up this pigsty," and so maybe this is what she was referring to. But how many pigs do you have in here?
Should be two.
Two? Two? I thought I saw three.
Well, maybe.
Now where are they? Now do you call them or something? Look at this.
I wonder if they headed in.
Look at this pigsty. Oh boy. Oh. Where are they? Come on, pigs. Come on around. Ramona says. Oh, what a nice experience. There they are. Look at this.
They know it's feeding time and I didn't bring this.
Oh boy. Hey, have some manners. Look at that. Have some. Oh. I'm not going to hurt you. Look at that. Holy cow.
No, holy pig.
Holy pig, that's right. Holy pig. Now, do you have names for these?
No.
No, okay, no names. Look at those.
You can name them. What would you like to name our pigs?
Oh, I don't know. We'll call this one Ollie. Okay, this one here is going to be called Ollie. Look at that.
Maybe we need a petunia.
A petunia, sure. Who was the Charlotte's Web? Wasn't there a pig?
Oh, there was. What was
Wilbur.
his name? Wilbur, yeah.
Wilbur the pig. You know? Look at that guy. Oh, I hope he's not going to bite my camera. He might, huh?
Just give it a nose print.
Huh? Give him what?
A nose print.
A nose print?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Oh, boy. All right. Uh-oh. Is the food coming? No. Is it dinner time? Look at this. You see, I came right at the right time. What are you going to feed them?
It's oats and alfalfa pellets.
Oats and alfalfa. All right. Look at this. They are hungry. Oh. Put a lid on. Oh. Here we go. Oh, they're fighting over it. There we go. Oh, one more. Here we go.
Move, move.
Hey, hey. There you go. All right. There's your feeding time. All right, folks. Have a great day.